best podcast in the land. From the Hill Podcast with Wayne Cartwright, Damian Green, Tanaris Gooding, David Thomas, Jennifer Murray, and Corey Williams. Sit back, relax, and let be.
What's going on, family?
What's going on, man?
Man, we are back together for a very special one night episode, y'all.
Yep.
All right, as you can see, it's we got Miss J the Great and T Gooden in the house with your boy Wild Wayne. Hey, just want to thank everybody for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and our Apple Podcasts, and also on our Spotify. Also, make sure you hit that like button and share it. Do it early and often tonight. And also follow us on our social media handles on Facebook, Instagram, and X. So we got a couple things real quickly we want to shoot across. First off, across the screen, for those of you A&M football fans, across the bottom, the drive for $5,500. How you can get your season tickets, they're on sale today. So as we go through the show tonight, make sure you look at that. And then also we got a couple of different housekeeping things as we get the 25 lighters on my dresser. Yes, sir.
I'm about to get paid.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Hey, Coach Maynard, football season is coming up, y'all. And this weekend, football camp, man. So, you can see the QR code. You can see the different ways that you can get involved with Coach Maynard's football camp. Should be a nice turnout. We're going to see some young youth players, going to be some high school players, all these different things, man.
So $40 camp.
That's it. So check it out, man. Also, volleyball summer camps. You can see the recruit camps. The little Bulldog camp and the all skills camp and the advanced camps. So there's two different date windows in the month of July, and you can see the ages. So again, QR code there at the bottom. This has been circulated across social media. We have a brand new head coach, so he's looking to develop a lot of momentum headed into the season, and also he's been pulling in some of these recruits, man. So. Summer volleyball camp. Get your daughters, get your nieces, get them all involved. All right. Another new head coach we got. We had her on last month. It was an awesome time. She's got her elite camp coming up on June the 29th, a one-day affair for $90. This is for all the girls who are entering high school, those that are junior college players. So all of that going on. The Coach Dawn Thornton Elite Camp. Sign up, man. Get them involved. Also, Marching Maroon and White, the summer band camp. All right. This is a 1 week affair coming up the 9th through the 15th. So you've got your pricing if you're staying overnight or if you're local. And also if you just want to be a chaperone. All right. These things, you can learn all of the different things and the nuances that go with our band. So be involved. Go ahead, T.
And before you go into the next slide, just brought the band up. We have a gentleman tonight that's going to be on America's Got Talent. He's performing with an artist. America's Got Talent actually airs at 7. Don't turn now. Just start your recorder so you can watch it later. But as a band member, he's playing trombone. He's playing with an artist on America's Got Talent tonight. I do have the DVR set, so I'll post those highlights and you can see him tomorrow. And he on Instagram, he's _ Chris with a K .P. So Chris will be on America's Got Talent tonight. If you go to his Instagram, you'll see him showing that.
Awesome.
Right.
Awesome.
Reese just said he's a section leader.
Awesome.
Literally start here, go anywhere.
Right.
All right. We got a couple more slides. First off, this is an example of many. So as you can see, Alicia Wilson. So several of our current Bulldog athletes have a campaign where they are now able to sell replicas of their jerseys. So as you can see, you've got Alicia Wilson with her basketball jersey and warm up top and a t-shirt. There's football jerseys, baseball, soccer, you name it. They're out here, man. You name it. So, as you look across the social media space, if you see some of these athletes in their jerseys and you want to scoop them up, man, definitely do so, man. Because this is part of NIL and this is part of apparel that you can wear and represent your favorite Bulldog athletes where they play.
AAMUmerch.com is the website. AAMUmerch.com.
There it is. All right, now switching gears. The last update we have is for our basketball coach, Coach Dawn Thornton. This is the toiletry drive, and I really, really love this. This is coming up on the 15th for a 2-hour time block. You see that it's being held at the event center, a toiletry drive, and these donations will be given to local shelters. Items to donate are travel toiletries, toothbrushes, toothpaste, floss, female hygiene products, shampoo, conditioner, all of the above. And also additional donations are accepted. So if you don't have toiletries to give, there's things that you can give, other things you can bring. You can also bring some money. So, be part of the drive, man. Doing some big things as you see the hashtag, big energy. And also you get a chance to meet and greet the Lady Bulldogs. So those are all of our housekeeping things tonight. Please govern yourselves accordingly. All right. So tonight we are here because we want to just get into a few things. Now, there was a question about APR. I'm going to quickly just bring this up.
Yes, sir.
Reese, he has this quick question. How does APR affect AAMU football? I'm going to turn to you, T. Gooden. Have at this one, brother.
Yeah, so the APR, of course, is the academic progress rate. I think A&M, we finished in football at a 905. And please forgive me for looking at my phone and putting up this information, people. But we finished at a 905, and that was a level 1. And that is a reduction of practice. So that is the penalty that we had for that. And I'm pulling it up. I'm just gonna pull up our school, Wayne, if you don't mind.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just gonna go through the actual APR. I mean, it's out there for public consumption, so might as well talk about it. It ain't going nowhere.
Right.
So let's see here. Like I said, please forgive me, folks. I normally have stuff right in front of me. All right, so let me change to the most recent year because it'll give me everything. So APR, this is from 2022 to 2023. I'm just gonna go through them real quickly. Hold on. Wrong school. That's the school of Montgomery. We're right next to each other when it comes to going through the list. I know, man. So baseball. Baseball finished at a 932. 1,000 is the highest. Am I correct?
Correct.
Yeah. Baseball finished at a 932. Football finished at a 905. And that is a level 1 penalty for practice reduction. Yes. Men's basketball finished at a 952. Men's golf finished at a 982. Men's tennis finished at a perfect 1,000. Men's track finished at a 919. That's a level 1 penalty. And that's a practice reduction also. Softball finished at a 944. Women's basketball finished at a 930. Women's bowling finished at a 950. Women's cross country finished at a 988. Going to the next page now. Women's soccer finished at a 982. Women's tennis finished at a perfect 1,000. Women's track finished at a 960. And women's volleyball finished at a 929, which is a level 1 penalty practice reduction. So those are the numbers. I don't know if if the school's going to appeal anything. but the APR for all schools in Division One, I know at least came out today. You can definitely go to NCAA.com or just Google NCAA APR, and then that page will come right up. You can see how we were previous years. You can see like from the beginning of the time. You can see how we compared to other schools. You can change the sports. You can do all types of stuff on that site. So feel free to go take a look at that.
Yeah, and one thing about APR, I know that there's been a whole lot of jokes flying around out there in some of the SWAT groups, particularly some that have been thrown at that school down there in Tallahassee, Florida. Personally, for me, while people like to make jokes about it, they think it's hilarious. You know, if you don't meet the APR requirement, which is a rolling 3-year average, you do run the risk of being ineligible for postseason play. And, you know, that's not a funny thing to me. I think that if your team or your school or your program falls beneath the APR requirements, it's not funny, it's embarrassing. And it sends a negative light because it says that, you know, that there's operational things that are not taking place, but there's also some things in the APR that you can't control, which is when you have players leave your program. They leave your program, they don't graduate. You know, some of those things are beyond your control. So I just wanted to just quickly mention that.
Yeah,
so
just to add to that too, Wayne, like you said, the APRs are rolling 3-year average. And a lot of the APR that we have now, the people that are in the school now, some of them didn't even have anything to do with it in any sport, good or bad, or the ones that are coming. So to me, it's a disadvantage to the actual what's currently going on. I wish they had a better way to do it. And I personally think it should go away because they did this transfer portal thing. There should be another way now that they do that stuff. Like you can't have the transfer portal and then hold people accountable for APR at the same time. It doesn't work that way. So they gotta, the NCAA has to figure that out, man. It's redundant to have one and have the other. You know, it's just, especially for the schools on our level, like, because you know you have those athletes that are just good enough to go to the next level, and then you have those athletes that are you're coming from another school to us. Like that affects APR, and then like it might not affect the Ohio States or the Alabamas or those schools. They ain't got to worry. They don't have to worry about that because people don't leave like then they have enough to cover it up. So, but it definitely affects us. Like Wayne said, it's not funny. It's actually embarrassing. You know, not just for us, even for other schools. I don't make fun of other schools because their APR didn't do it. Because guess what? The average can roll around and be us next year.
Exactly. And the best thing about it too, we and this is for any program. Once they come out, there is time to get a game plan together, to be ready for next year. So, we're just gonna trust the process and hope for the best next year. Yeah.
So first thing I want to get into now, let's talk about the NBA Finals real quick.
Yep.
So you guys know the NBA Finals, they start on Thursday in Boston. Boston is taking on the Dallas Mavericks, who knocked off the Minnesota Timberwolves in a 5-game series. There was a blowout in Game 5, but the other 4 games were pretty close.
Yep.
Indiana, they blew Game 1 in the East Finals, and then they never recovered. And of course, Tyrese Halliburton, he suffered a hamstring injury. So they start on Thursday night in Boston. And for me, I don't like anything Boston at all. I do like Jason Tatum, the player, but I do not like anything Boston. But as you guys know me, and everybody knows how I am, regardless if I like a team or not, I do look at things very logical. All right, Jay the Great, who you got between Boston and Dallas?
We're going Game 1 or we going to finals? I'm sorry, Jay, didn't mean to interrupt.
Let's just say the whole series. Okay, but if you want, make your comments in your picks, though.
Okay.
I'm gonna be honest. I really can't call it. Like, I really could flip a coin between the two squads. I'm high key hating because I don't know if y'all know this. I'm a Rockets fan. My team ain't nowhere near any type of playoff contention. So I just really don't care. I'm gonna be honest. I don't care. I'm salty. But I think if I had to choose, it may be Dallas. I might have to roll with Dallas, but I just between both teams, it's just this playoff did not go the way I thought it would.
Right.
And to see how Dallas did Minnesota, they kind of threw me off. So I really could just flip a coin, but I guess I'll go with Dallas.
All right. T Gooden.
All right. So like Jay said, man, like I did not predict. I thought we were gonna see Denver in the finals again. And I don't know who I thought was gonna come out of the East. I think one of my choices was gonna be Boston, but it could have been anybody else too. But I think I'm low key rooting for Tatum and Brown. Those guys have they went through the fire, man. Like they're almost there every year. So hopefully they play well. However, that Luka and Kyrie, those guys, man.
Yeah.
I don't know what film they watched from the 90s with old school duos, but those guys have been playing great. So but if I had to pick, if you ask me today who is gonna win the series, I would say Dallas, but I wouldn't be shocked if it goes 7 games and Boston wins in game 7.
Bye.
All right. Well, for me, the funny thing is that Boston has not beaten any team that's been at full strength yet. They beat Miami in the first round in 5 games. Jimmy Butler and Terry Rozier were both hurt. They played my Cavs in the second round. Jared Allen didn't play the whole series, and Donovan Mitchell was hampered and didn't play the 5th game, right? Or the 4th or the 5th game, okay? And then I mentioned about Tyrese Halliburton getting hurt for the Pacers, all right? So this time they're going up against a team that's full strength. The X factors to me are the guys down low, though, for Dallas. I know we talk about Kyrie and we talk about we talk about your boy Luka, but the X factors are Derek Lively and PJ Washington, man. These have been the guys, and also my boy Daniel Gafford. These are the guys that have been getting it done, man. I believe that Dallas is going to win this series in 6 games because I don't believe that at the front line of Boston will be able to keep those guys off the boards. And I think offensive rebounding is going to make a big difference because it's going to give a lot of second possessions. I expect Boston to play with the fullest urgency because, to T's point, they've been knocking on the door for such a long time. And a lot of people would say, well, maybe this is their time. But, I just don't think so. I think Dallas is going to do it. All right. So, next up, let's talk about your boy Deontay Wilder. Oh man. Jay did great.
Okay, so I love Deontay Wilder. I don't know Bulldogs. Y'all remember he came to Classic one year and made sure he shouted out both schools, showed a lot of love. He would bring his games to Birmingham, and I've actually attended one of his matches, and I'm always going to love him for how he puts on for Alabama.
Yep.
Tuscaloosa. Like he definitely blew up and never forgot home. So let me get that out. With that being said, there's a song. And it's called, there's lyrics go, you got to know when to hold them. Know when to fold them. It's time. It's time. And it's actually been time. It's time a few fights ago. It was time a few fights ago. So, I love him. I mean, boom, love him. But yeah, it's okay to, go out on top. Maybe not after this last fight, but maybe set up your next fight with somebody that you can beat, and then retire after that.
Right.
But this is it's time to hang it up. It's time to hang it up.
Totally agree with everything that Jennifer said. He's always put on for the state of Alabama. He brought big boxing events to the state of Alabama, to Birmingham, to the BJCC. He wanted to bring on to Tuscaloosa to Brian Denny, but the board of trustees wouldn't let it. He wanted to do that. So he's always been looking out for Alabama. 43-4-1 is not a bad record. You can that's pretty good. But after he lost the second time to Tyson Fury,
yes,
the first time okay, but after the second time, and then they were pointing out his flaws. Like, we know Deontay Wilder, he's a one-hitter quitter. He's not like a skilled guy like, say, a Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather, you can't hit him. He can move. But if Deontay Wilder, he just trying to hit you, but he's not a real good skilled mover. Now, will he beat me up? Yes. I'm not saying I'm an expert, but as far as boxing, he wasn't skilled like that, and these boxers have been. I was reading something earlier, and Lennox Lewis said Deontay Wilder told them before the fight, if I lose this fight, I'm going to retire. Then, because he said he has 8 kids. He actually got in boxing to help take care of his special needs daughter. Mm-hmm. So he's made enough money now to, have his sense, not have to walk away, in a wheelchair, still has his right mind. Of course, it's going to hurt to stop doing what you love, but at the same time, you got kids to take care of, man. So be there for them.
Yeah. Man, I remember the way boxing used to be when I was a kid, when we all were kids. Remember, the pay-per-views used to be like the biggest thing, man, especially like the heavyweight division. Like, when you knew when Tyson was fighting somebody, man, you knew that thing was about to be live.
Right.
When Lennox Lewis and Evander Holyfield, when them dudes was getting together, it was about to be live.
Right.
The one fight that I wish that we would have saw, speaking about Deontay Wilder, I wish we would have saw him fight Anthony Joshua.
I know, man.
When they both were in their prime, man. That's the fight that I wish that they would have contractually been able to come together to make happen.
Right.
That would have been a fight, man, that we would have been able to see in their prime. But, as far as my boy, man, he's had a great career. But, yeah, I'm like what Jay said, man. It's just time to go to the house, bro.
Yep.
It's time to go to the house.
And ain't nothing wrong with home. Like, okay, think about it. Y'all watch Game of Thrones, the new House of Dragon series about to start up. You got that.
Yep.
The last season of Power Book 3 is about to start on Friday.
Yep.
On that, yes. I know the people like BMF.
Right. You got Bad Boys 4 coming out Friday.
Yep.
Go do some stuff.
Popcorn, nachos, all that. Yes.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. But man, I wanna now transition into the hot topic now, man. I know we got shout out to everybody that's joined us so far. Tell everybody that we own, but to T Gooden's backdrop on the WNBA, man. All right, let me just say a few things to start this off, okay? And first off, everybody that's in the comments, feel free. This is interactive. You got something to say about the WNBA and Miss Caitlin Clark and Kennedy Carter and all the Angel Reese and all these different things. Let's see these comments. You know what I'm saying? We'll make y'all part of the interactive conversation here.
Hey, we'll drop that link too, Wayne, so they can come on live. Camera on or camera off. We'll hear from you too if y'all want to join that way.
Yeah, for sure. We'll go ahead and put it in the comments here.
I got you right here.
Yeah, put it in the comments there if you want to come on up and we'll talk about it. But let me just say a few things to set this thing up, okay? First off, it's been a whole lot of folks that you could tell that don't normally watch the WNBA or maybe never have watched the WNBA. these brand new folk that want to come on here and talk like, oh, that was so unfair what Kennedy Carter did to Caitlin Clark. You know, man, basketball is a contact sport. Now, was it a cheap shot? It was a cheap shot. But was I mad at it? I wasn't mad at it. You know, because the way this stuff works here, okay? Let's not act like the pretty girl don't talk trash either. You know, she's doing all this and, you know, running her mouth. She do a lot of talking too. And people say that just because she's come in and she's brought more viewership, y'all should be a little bit more accommodating. So what you expect us to do? You expect them to just lay down and let her have free reign? I mean, last time I checked, this was a competition, right? Yes. This was basketball, right? We trying to win, right? I'm supposed to defend you. I'm supposed to, you know, keep you from being a dominant figure against my team. And there's a lot of people who feel that Caitlin Clark should be idolized already. And the crazy thing is they got one win. One win.
I think it's two.
Oh, two wins now.
And one of them was by 1 point.
Okay, 2 wins now. 2. I take it back. They're 2-9.
Right.
2 wins. Okay. You know, they got the sold out crowds and they got all, you know, we get all of that stuff. I understand all of it. But my point here is you got all these brand new fans that got all these opinions. The way the sport was before, we know they struggle for viewership. They struggle for popularity. But let's not act like the WNBA ain't been entertaining, because there's plenty of us that have watched it. I watch it. When they had a team in Cleveland, I used to go during the summertime. It was fun times, good games. I know there's some people on here that are in the audience that have been to WNBA games. It's a fun time, man. But where it is, we knew that it was going to be like this when she came in. The precursor was the way it was down the stretch of last season with Iowa. That was the precursor that let you know that it was going to get out of pocket.
Yeah.
You know, I'll let you guys get in this though. You know, go ahead, Jen. What you think?
Whew, I can write a book. I can give you a little bit of my background. I grew up a Houston Comets fan. And as you know, the team is now defunct. Right. And so I have been WNBA teamless. I watch and support the players, but I have been teamless because my team is inactive. But I can honestly say now I'm a Chicago Sky fan. And I'm holding it with the Sky until the Comets come back, because I'm holding faith that my Comets coming back. And that is because of Angel Reese and Camila Cardoso. With that being said, I am sick and tired of the narratives in the media that has been spun about the WNBA. Like Wayne said, the WNBA has always been physical. And honestly, the physicality is actually kind of toned down than what it used to be. Those girls used to have, those ladies used to have just straight out brawls on the court. So like we're really looking at, it's really toned down. But it's just like now it's to the point where, and the commentary, especially from people that should know better, like Charles Barkley and LeBron James, the women are jealous. The women are they ought to be thankful. Y'all need to, I've heard people say they need to they should put Caitlin on a different team. What do you think in any sport? Can you tell me what does all the first draft teams have in common?
They all suck.
They suck.
Sorry. That's why they get the first right. That's why they get the first pick, to help them even the playing field. So it's really sickening. And there's a lot of undertones that that is going on with this, but the mentality that the players are jealous, the players need to just let her win. Those are top athletes. And when you say the WA and you say top athletes, first of all, there's only 12 teams. And you only have certain spots on you only have certain spots. So everyone is not going to make it. Everyone's not going to make it. Literally, there's been vets that have been cut. So, you basically, everybody that's on a WNBA roster has earned their spot. There is no charity picks. There's no, oh, well, we ran out of players. You can go, come on. It's literally the best of the best. So for y'all to just dismiss their talent just because you started watching, it's insane. And it's really frustrating to those who have appreciated the sport, who have watched the sport, who have supported the sport. It's really a slap in our faces because I get it. You want to watch it and that's great, but please, that's like me going over somebody's house. I'm a guest and I go in there and immediately start telling them, well, I don't like your wall color. Oh, I don't like your carpet color. No, I go in your house and I sit down and then if you want me to do something, you'll invite me to do it. But y'all just started watching. Please sit down, learn the sport. Mm-hmm. Figure out what's going on and then speak. But all of these ridiculous takes from people who clearly don't watch, it is so frustrating. It is so frustrating.
All right. So I got a little different from my two peers here. But, I agree with some things and I might not agree with some of the things they said. So in any sport, there's no, I never, Gilbert Arenas said it. And I think somebody else said it. They pretty much say, you got to give them a couple wins. Like, you don't give them nothing. You don't give them a win just because she's Caitlin Clark. You earn your wins. However, I do, this is with anything in life. There are people that are jealous of the access that we have with our illustrious school. There are people that are jealous of, it is that there are people that are jealous of not everybody, but there are people that are jealous of Caitlin Clark's situation. I would be too. She come in, got a $28 million shoe contract and ain't scored a point. $28.3 million. A girl played school at Iowa. There's gonna be some resentment in that. That's just what it is. It doesn't mean everybody's gonna be jealous. Absolutely not. But there are some players that are going to be jealous of that. Now, what you should do with that is make it fuel for you to dominate her, to embarrass her when she's on the floor, not take cheap shots when she's standing there and something that could injure you. There's no reason for that to do that. Basketball plays are different than somebody just standing there and you decide to pretty much tackle them. You can't even do that in football. So there's no way you should do that in basketball. Hard fouls, you got to get them. That's gonna happen. It happened to Michael Jordan when he started playing. It happened to Steph Curry. Steph Curry is bigger now than what he used to be. That's the reason why, because he like they were beating Steph Curry up. Now, kind of, what people you need to. Well, I'm not gonna say she. A lot of people have been saying, like I said, people that don't know, they are saying that Caitlin Clark is the reason why this is that, this is that. I totally disagree with that. She is part of the reason. However, for the last 2 years in college basketball, there's been a rivalry between her and Angel Reese. That's been the last few years. Caitlin has put the team on her back the last 2 years to go to the NCAA Final Four. We probably won't hear from Iowa anymore, just being honest. we probably won't hear from Iowa in a long time. So she did do that. So the attention that she getting, she deserves it. But for people to say Caitlin is the reason why they have charter flights, totally false. The Las Vegas Aces and the New York Liberty, they have owners that have money. They got fined by the WNBA because they were using their own charter flights. So those owners of those teams that aren't the Indiana Fever and didn't know about Caitlin Clark at the time were trying to get the WNBA to get those charter flights happen. It just so happened the year when Caitlin Clark Give you another example. What they will tell you, like 2 years ago, they told you Deion Sanders was the reason why Jackson State got new locker rooms. Totally not the reason. He just happened to be there when they did get new locker rooms. So you know, it's kind of that same comparison. And then I know there was a lot. There's a lot been said about, you know, the media talking heads saying what they got to say. I kind of understand what they're saying, you know, because they're looking at a different perspective. You gotta kind of, you know, you see her doing her, so you shouldn't, you know, resent or you shouldn't be jealous. But at the same time, it is a competitive sport. You know, some people, when they get between those lines, they don't know how to take that away. Draymond Green is a perfect example. Draymond Green is one of the smartest players ever. If you hear Draymond talk, he knows X's and O's like anything. But when he gets between those lines, it just seems like he forget that, you know, I got to kind of tone it down a little bit. And some of those players are that way. Like they said, WNBA been scrappy for a long time. 3 years ago, we weren't talking about the WNBA. I mean, 3 years ago, we didn't have this podcast. Things change. So, you know, you gotta, I mean, it just is what it is, man. People just gotta stop being so offended about stop taking it personal. At the end of the day, it's a basketball game. I promise you, I say we media, we are fans, we put more emphasis on Caitlin Clark than she actually. She knows it's just a sport. She knows what it is. Like she know what type of person she is. She probably knows that she deserves it. But at the same time, we just got to stop taking it so personal, man, and, you know, putting too much emphasis in it, because at the end of the day, it's a basketball game.
Yeah, I do remember back in. Now I'm gonna kind of date myself a little bit, but I remember back in, this was like 1988, 89, somewhere around there. Remember that Isaiah Thomas had made a comment about Larry Bird. And Larry Bird at the time, he was winning. He had won 3 MVPs, and Isaiah Thomas got himself in hot water because he said famously that if Larry Bird were black, he would be viewed as just another great player. And at the time, you know, a lot of people, they agreed with Isaiah, but it was during a time where, you know, you could not be as outspoken as you were.
Right.
And so the two of them, they had a press conference during the finals. They came together, they talked about it, whether it was legit or not, it was whatever, it was for optics. I cannot lie, all of our viewers out here, I cannot lie, because that did cross my mind when I started to see the things transpire. I went back to that. And I don't say it in the context of if Caitlin Clark was a black player, she would just be another great player. I'm not saying it in that context, but I say it in this context like this. The racial undertones are very prevalent.
Yes.
And white America, this is someone that they can identify with. This is someone that they can relate to. This is someone that they can get behind. We know that basketball, football has become a predominantly black sport. We know this. And whenever there are superstars that come along that are white, a lot of times, you know, they're well followed. Sometimes they could be put up a little bit higher because now that's someone that generation or that demographic can relate to. And for all of these things that get said about how great she is, she's the best of all time, she was the greatest scorer we've ever seen, all these things that get said, it's highly subjective. I've never agreed with any of it. I don't think that she's the greatest player of all time. I just think that she's a great player that came along at the right time.
Yeah.
I think that she came along at the right time for the WNBA because we know that the ratings are what they are. The Las Vegas Aces and the New York Liberty they became one of the too few teams that actually had their own practice facilities. not shared, but actually had their own specific built for them practice facility. So there's a lot of things that go on that get missed in the whole process that we have. The WNBA has been the WNBA. It's going to continue to be the WNBA. There's going to be great players that are going to continue to come in, and there's great players that are going to continue to be developed. But one thing I will say, lastly, on my point here that I think is very also grossly unfair is looking at the way the head coach of the Fever, Christy Sides, has been treated in the media.
Yes.
Every night, she is vilified by fans or by casual watchers. She is overly scrutinized for every rotation that she makes, every coaching decision that she makes. And it is grossly unfair because she was put in an unenviable position that she had to be Caitlin Clark's first head coach. And it would not surprise me at all if quickly Caitlin Clark would have her second head coach at the beginning of next season. Because Christy Sides, no matter what she does, no matter what she says, no matter who she plays, is a no-win situation.
Yeah, so now as far as a lot of the racial undertones, and this sometimes we gotta start muting it out. A lot of the racial undertones come from people from the backwoods that's what they do. They got a computer, they get on the internet, and that's what they do. So we let the little stuff that they say get into the mainstream, and it messes everything up. These people have no credibility at all. But we give them all the credibility when we get into that. And I'm just looking on my phone. That's what I'm looking at. I was just looking at the overall picks, the number one overall picks. Previously they were white women, and I'm perplexed because it's not because Caitlin Clark is white, because she's not the first overall pick that was white woman. You got Sue Bird, Tarazi, and
Sabrina Ionescu.
Yeah, I didn't know how to say her last name. Thank you. And Kelsey Plum, the one that plays for the Aces. These are Sabrina and Kelsey are recent. So I don't think she's getting pumped up because of her race, because they could have been done that a long time ago. I just think timing is everything.
Yep.
She had Sue Bird and Sabrina and Diana, they didn't have a ongoing college rivalry with every team they played. They didn't have games. They didn't go to Iowa, first of all. Like, this is a town, this is Iowa that played against the athletes that play for South Carolina and the athletes that play for LSU. So they didn't have a rivalry. Caitlin Clark just happened to, and then we can't forget that she's the NCAA all-time lead scorer. Like, you can't take that away from her, no matter what you say. Like, she like, one thing about scoring in basketball, that's the goal that you do on your own. Like, when you're a quarterback, if you got the most passing yards, it's because somebody caught it. When you are a basketball player, if you got the scoring record, you scored the baskets. Nobody else did it for you. So I kind of, like I said, it's timing. And I kind of think that, she had those rivalries in college that kind of spilled over to the WNBA, which is good. And basically, like, the coach that you were speaking of, though, I don't think she's going to make it through the season. I don't think it's Caitlin Clark, because she just, I looked at her, she coached last year too, and it just wasn't good. You know what I mean? And then, and then also, I personally think that Aaliyah Boston needs to step her game up, man. She's not like a post player like she should be. I think she could be better, with the post moves. Because Cardoso did a good job the other day when she came off the bench. I think Boston could do a whole lot better with helping, but I don't think the coach is gonna last through the season, because they're sold out, they're still not winning, and you can't cut the player. So guess who got to go? The coach. Yep. That's with any sport. That's football. That's basketball. That's college. The coach gonna always be the first one to go.
I'm
Yep.
gonna say this. I do think and there's rumors. Iowa's coach retired. Well, she stepped down. I would not be shocked.
I know you. I know. See where you're going here.
I would not be shocked.
I
if
thought the same thing. No, actually, I was like,
They may have made that call and said, "Hey, go ahead and retire. We'll give you a shot over here in the WNBA.
Come on up."
Right.
because she and Caitlin, they go like there it goes. So I would I wouldn't be shocked. And I would say, I do Caitlin, when Caitlin is in the zone, she cash money. Like when she gets her rhythm, she's cash money. All I'm saying is it doesn't celebrating her does not have to be at the expense of the other players in the league.
Absolutely.
What was that? They the Chicago Tribune did an editorial board where they literally compared the hip check to assault. Like that is dangerous rhetoric because some of these players are getting death threats. And so we're gonna have to tone down the rhetoric because when Angel Reese got clotheslined,
she got WWE chokeslam.
Yeah, and Bob Costas said nothing was said because it was just viewed as black on black crime. That's what Bob Costas said.
Hey, and then also, like, you got to consider this, not an excuse, but just human nature. The same foul that you used to give, that people gave to Shaq, will be called egregious if you give it to Steph Curry because of the size of the player. Like Angel Reese is, how tall is she? 6'2", 6'3"?
6'3".
Yeah, she's 6'3". She's a woman of stature. So, if she gets a hard foul, she might not fall like most people do. Caitlin Clark does. It looks like a big issue. I mean, that's why they look at that stuff like that.
She also kind of looked like she flopped too a little bit.
Yeah, so
you want to say that too.
Yeah, you have to flop. You have to flop, but they didn't. Yeah, you flop. That's part of the game. LeBron James does it all the time. He's 6'8" and almost 300 pounds. Yeah, that's just how they look at it. Like, because I remember Shaq used to get beat up all the time. And they didn't call a foul. But then when he did the same thing somebody did to him, it was a foul because they were smaller. So, I mean, I like it, man. But we do, like, seriously, though. I don't care what has to happen. Like, you cannot continue to let your teammate get beat up like that and you not do anything. Like, like, come on, bro. Like, you just pick up. Like, she just knocked the hell out of your player. You just, like, don't nobody do nothing?
So I have a question about that. Now I got a question about that because typically, I do, it does, when other players, they're supposed to be ready to square up. I'm almost wondering what their locker room looked like.
Right.
Because at the same time, I wonder if Caitlin is doing herself any favors but by not speaking up on the abuse that her teammates are getting. So, and again, I know what I don't want to get lost is she is 22, so she is still very young,
right?
And so there is I'm not going to expect her to have the maturity of, a Diana Taurasi who is a legend and still playing,
right?
But I do want to know what is the kind of the atmosphere in that locker room as to why people are just like. They ain't really ready to buck with you. So hopefully they get that together so that they can put a stop to some of these because it was a cheap shot. I'm not going, but at the same time, with that shot, there was some mouthing off that went on before that shot. And so that's not, people are not highlighting like she just went after her out the blue. Now, Caitlin was popping off Right
Oh,
before that foul.
there's no telling what was said to it. Like it probably all types of agreed. That's what happened in
So
sports. Like it
now,
probably all type of derogatory things that they call each other all on the court.
and so you just have to know that if she gonna pop off, you just pop off back. Which now that you're being watched and scrutinized, you may not want to do the hard foul because they ready to throw folks out the league over this young lady. So you may not want to do the hard foul, but dunk in her face, get it back that way. But I do kind of wonder how is the locker room is that nobody wanted to defend her.
Yeah, I saw a commentator yesterday. She was like, maybe the team, like nobody on the team is cut like that. Well, they need to get cut like that. Somebody has to be. Like you can't
real quick.
You can't let that go. Like in hockey, you gotta have an enforcer. They sign people in hockey to be an enforcer. Dennis Rodman was the guy that protected everybody. Draymond Green is the enforcer for the Warriors. Like you gotta have those people, man. What's the girl name that pushed Caitlin Clark now? She's the enforcer.
Kennedy Carter.
Yeah, she's the enforcer.
That's her role for her team. Like that's what they do.
Matt Barnes said that. Matt Barnes said that was his role.
Matt Barnes, that's what's his role. Like, hey, you got to protect the superstar.
They definitely
get 5 fouls.
They need somebody who ain't ready to foul out. And just and sometimes you may have to have that. And what I want Caitlin to get a little tough too, like
facts.
Like you because you was pushing them girls all an hour. You was knocking them girls over. It's so if somebody foul you that hard, I shoot foul them back.
Hey man, like I said, man, these some grown women in the WNBA, man. They ain't about to go for all that. You pulling up from the logo and you just letting it go and just running around free reign. They ain't about to go for that.
I tell you what's gonna happen. I think because the Steph Curry that we see today is not the Steph Curry that was there years ago. They tried the same thing with Steph Curry. They didn't like that he used to pull up. They thought it was disrespectful. Until you start making them, then they had to respect it. Like, and then you can't push around. So I think Caitlin Clark will be fine. I think she will be one of the greats. I think she will become that, but I don't think it's right now, and I don't think she'll be on the Indiana Fever when that happens. I think she will be, unless they do a complete. Like I said, it's still early. I don't want to say they need to do a complete roster shakedown. I mean, it's the first year; it's not even over yet. But I think she'll be good though, man. She'll get better as all. Like Angel Reese will get better, Cardoso will get better. Like all of them will get better. So
So all right, let's shift gears, y'all.
I'm glad you said that about
Go ahead, Jen. Last point, and then we're gonna shift gears.
Let me just say this. I'm glad you said that about Steph Curry because I kind of want to go back. I actually was there when my Rockets played the Warriors in the playoffs in 2019, and that same, like you said, that same Steph Curry that used to get tossed around a little bit, straight manhandled my Rock, and I had to walk back to my car after watching that. So it was horrible. I wanted my money back. So she gonna get her weight up, and she gonna be able to compete, but it's just gonna take some time.
It's good for the game, man. I like it. We would have never been talking about WNBA 2 years ago. Look where we are now.
Exactly. All right. Look, let's shift gears here as we get, I want to finish the show tonight. All right. We done seen a lot of way too early SWAC football talk.
We have, man.
I want to do a little bit of our own way too early SWAC football talk. Okay. All right. Now, first off, let me just preface this by saying we got a lot of SWAC fans on here, and there's a lot of SWAC opinions, and we appreciate them all. Mm-hmm. Right now, everybody's undefeated, and right now, everybody think that their team is going to be something better than what they probably going to end up being. Some think they're going to go 8-0 and going to go to the Celebration Bowl and win it and do all this. They're going to throw for a bunch of yards. They're going to allow no points.
They even making shirts.
Yeah, exactly. The people probably got tattoo appointments ready. Man. Hey, look, man. I know, like as far as our team goes, right? Well, before I say about our team, the thing that's so hard about SWAC football now is that there's a ton of transfers.
Mm-hmm.
And also, in addition to the transfers, you've got new coaches at FAMU, Alcorn. You've got a new head coach at Southern, Grambling, and Texas Southern, right? You got new head coaches everywhere, right? And then you got guys that are in their second season, like Valley, Bethune-Cookman. You know what I'm saying? Now all of a sudden, Coach Maynard and right, he's the dean, and then you got our boy down the road as second in line, right?
Right.
So as far as our team, man, now everybody knows we got SWAC Media Day is coming up next month. And you know, when they have media day, that's when the media gonna come out and they're gonna make these picks, right? So, you know, with our team, some of the things I was looking at is, hey, I feel a little bit better about us on offense.
Yes.
Defense, I don't feel the same way. Because I look at new defensive coordinator. We do have our best defensive player. We have our best secondary, our best corner guy coming back with Amari Pate, who was second team all conference.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of question marks on the defensive side of the ball for us. Offensively, I'm like, hey, we got receivers, we got tight ends, we return everybody in the running back room.
We do.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody in the running back room is back. The question is, who's going to be under center? You know, Avion Smith comes in from Miami, Ohio. You know, he was pressed in to be the starter when Miami, Ohio's quarterback Brett Gabbert got hurt, led him to a MAC championship. Transfers, okay. And then we know we got Quad Brown back, and then also, you know, our boy Mr. Langford is back. So, you know, who's going to be under center? We know that Avion's more of a runner. Quad's more of a passer.
Yeah.
Langford is more of a, you know, okay, we'll say more of a runner.
Yeah.
Right.
But there's a lot of question marks that I have on defense. And so, yeah. I'll go there.
I'll hate to be the offensive coordinator, offensive coach, quarterback coach, whoever it is, because you got, like you said, you got Langford that, you know, he's been at A&M since he's been at A&M, you know, Bulldog through and through. You got Quad Brown that whatever happened, he's here. You know, he didn't come back to not start. And then you got Smith. He didn't transfer in to not start. And the quarterback is one of those positions. Okay, if you got 2 or 3 receivers, cool. You can line all 3 of them up. You know, receivers run long. Like somebody needs a break, you can put the other one in. Everybody gets to shine on. But the quarterback, you can't do that because it messes up flow when you're changing quarterbacks all the time. That's one of the things that has happened to us the last 2 seasons. We haven't had a quarterback, you know, drive in, drive out, or game in, game out. So I would hate to be whoever makes that decision, because whoever you pick is going to piss somebody off. It's going to piss off the locker room. It's going to piss off fans.
The peanut gallery.
Parents. It's going to piss off somebody. Whoever you pick.
Church members.
Yeah, it's going to be somebody going to be mad. So, you know, like I said, Godspeed to the people that make the decision. I'm gonna be there, man. Hopefully it's the right decision, because I can't suffer. I don't want to suffer through another year like we did the last 2 years, man.
Please no.
Yeah, I'm tired of us I'm tired of us being the homecoming schedule. Like, oh, we playing A&M, we'll be all right. So I want people to fear us, you know. Oh yeah, we got Auburn first game.
Grambling did that last.
They did. Yeah, they did. Yeah, we got Auburn the first game, but whatever. We understand.
Yeah,
you know.
we're not
cool. We know how that's gonna work.
I will say this about defense. I did see this at the spring game. Coach Howard, our new defensive coordinator, is definitely locked in. And his team really listens to him. His squad listens to him. So I'm excited to see what he dials up. I definitely have, faith in what he's going to do. He's connected with those young men. So I'm excited. I will say this about our overall team. We are definitely underestimated. We are underestimated. And I actually like that. I like that. We're going to, this season is not going to go the way it's going to go. And I know people have, they already got the Celebration Bowl matchup. They saying it's going to be Prairie View and Morgan State. God bless that. But I really think that this SWAC season, people, they've already making out the little list and counting A&M as losses. And I'm like, okay, good luck with that. I'm actually excited about this upcoming football season, because I do think that during the off season there were some missing pieces that we had, and I do think our coaching staff has filled those pieces in. And so I think once they gel together, watch out. Yeah. Watch out. And you can quote me. I said, Jennifer said, watch out.
Man, well, when I look around the whole landscape of the league, man, and y'all know that we're gonna I'm gonna have a preview show, the prediction show. Shout out to my boy G at Swacking the Food. We're gonna have that coming up in August. But go ahead, T.
No, I didn't know where you were transitioning to, but I was just gonna.
Oh no, I'm staying on this subject. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I just want like outside of us, who do you guys think is the biggest threat in the SWAC? Because there's no more. What's the quarterback that was in FAMU?
Jeremy Musa.
Musa's gone. For some reason, they done put the crown on the injured quarterback that's at Alabama State that's always injured, but now he's playing at Alabama. What's his name?
It's Andrew Body.
Yeah, Andrew Body. So they put the crown on him like he's going to be the guy. Hopefully he doesn't get injured, but that's just his history. But who do you guys think is that crown jewel?
So I'll just say this real quick. FAMU, they replaced Musa with a transfer. Okay. Mm-hmm. And he's supposed to be pretty decorated. I know he played at Florida Atlantic. They say he's pretty good. But the other thing about that is you got a new head coach.
Yeah.
So who knows? Also, Jackson State, they appear to possibly found their quarterback of the future, down the stretch with Jacoby and Morgan, right? They tried a lot of different things, and it seems like, he's the guy that they settled upon. You mentioned Andrew Body. Question mark about Andrew Body is hasn't played meaningful football in well over a year. Okay. And then also, I'm just talking about the East for now. And then also you look at Bethune-Cookman. Bethune-Cookman, what a lot of people, you need to pay attention to Bethune-Cookman, because they brought in a truckload. I mean, truckload of transfers and talent.
I think they're the sleeper of the East, honestly.
Yeah, and Coach Woody, I hate to say this, shoot, them boys ran for 412 yards on us.
Sure did. Woo.
412 yards. And you know what I'm saying? And there were a lot of games that Bethune-Cookman was in last year that they actually should have won.
Yeah.
So, Bethune-Cookman is a team that you got to pay attention to. Valley is starting to get a little bit of rejuvenation because they got a new video board. They got new turf in their stadium. Mm-hmm. They got some different things that are kind of working there. So, and then you transition over to the West. We know that the West is always wild. Mm-hmm. Mickey Joseph coming in at Grambling. As much of a splash hire as he is, I look at who he has as offensive coordinator, Eric Dooley. I'm like, man, what the heck is going to happen with that?
That is a Thursday night game on ESPNU, by the way.
Like what's going to happen? What's going to happen with that? You know what I'm saying? The way that pairing will work. Right. Miles Crowley was a really, really good quarterback last year. But they lost some of their parts. The transfer portal giveth and it takes away. Yep. They lost their best running back, Floyd Chalk. Southern, brand new head coach, Terrence Graves. Now they got Noah Biden as the quarterback. So we'll see what they got there. Prairie View, they're the defending champion. Bubba McDowell, they brought in a quarterback that some people say is the second coming. I kind of said, let's pump the brakes. Let's see him run the first team offense during fall camp before we want to coordinate the guy. And then also Chris Dishman, new head coach with Texas Southern. Good luck to you. And then Pine Bluff. Pine Bluff, as tough a year as they had, they ended the year with one of the most crazy upsets when they rallied from a huge deficit on the road to pick off Texas Southern and put a nail in Clarence McKinney's coffin.
Yeah.
Right. So there's a lot going on, but I will preface all that I said to say this. It's been a very long time, at least 5 seasons, when both divisions had uncertainty about who you think was going to be the champion. The last 3-4 years, you pretty much knew what the East was going to be. Yeah. You knew if it wasn't going to be Jackson State, you knew it was going to be FAMU. Right. Last year, FAMU was everybody's favorite. They lived up to the hype. They met all the challenges. They did what was expected of them. But now the East is a little bit of a question mark again. Now, and the West is still its usual West.
Now, I will say this. I do think that whoever wins the SWAC is going to come out the East. I don't think that dynamic has changed where the East is dominated the West. I don't think that dynamic changes. But I will say this. As far as the West, I do think as far as the sleeper team in the West, I do think it's Alcorn. Yes, they have a new coach, but their coach came out their system.
Yep.
And so that you can't go wrong. They had a solid program last year. You can't go wrong with somebody that's homegrown moving up. So I don't know. Like I do think it's probably going to come in the West. It's probably going to go between Alcorn, Southern, and PV. If I would have to guess 3 teams. I know the top 3 teams that they're saying if we're taking ourselves out of it. They're saying, again, State, Jackson State, and FAMU. So, but I will say this. I will say that the Magic City Classic this year, the last couple of years is, has been played for bragging rights. I think it's going to be a lot more on the line this year. I do think it's going to be a lot more on the line. And the same thing with the game, probably on the West. I think Alcorn PV is probably going to be some fireworks in that matchup as well.
Now, speaking of football, then in Alabama A&M, coming at the end of the month, we do have a special show with Christopher Aninye. He's a strength and conditioning associate and former Alabama A&M football player. He works for the Los Angeles Rams now. We do have Grady Brown, that's a former DB at Alabama A&M. He's a secondary coach for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And we also have Robert Mathis. I don't need to tell you about him. He's a consultant for the Indianapolis Colts now. We will have them on, that date is June the 26th, right?
25th.
25th.
3 weeks from tonight.
Yeah,
clear your calendar.
Now, before that, the day before that, Wild Wayne will be on a podcast. Who Wayne again?
The Golden Boot Podcast.
The Golden Boot Podcast.
Shout out to my boy Pooh Bear and Ant.
Yeah, Wayne will be on with them on that Monday. They're going to be talking about football. We're going to be talking about, the guys' role in the NFL. Of course, we know everybody's role is to play in the league, but sometimes you got to take a different route. Those guys are actually, Robert did play, obviously. but you know, you can always get there just a different route. So we're gonna just talk to those guys and hear from their words about their experience as well. Don't forget to make sure you log on for that one. We appreciate y'all coming on this one. I know we just put this out here yesterday, but we do appreciate you guys for coming on.
So when you gonna bring the women's bowling team back on?
Good question, bowling team.
That's a really great question. And you know something, we will make some special room for you coming up here before your season starts. You definitely, because it's funny because I was thinking about all of the different concepts we have for next season. Because you know, we're gonna start afresh with a full run. You know, coming up in August, and we're gonna be running real strong. So yeah, I was thinking about y'all bowling team. Also been thinking about y'all thinking about soccer, been thinking about you know, all of the sports that's coming up. I know football gets a lot of the headlines, but yeah, I've been thinking about y'all. Don't worry about it. We're gonna get y'all on.
We wanna, you know, we want to get every team on here, which we haven't, but y'all know how it goes, man. It's the way that it's who draws. And we have to go at it that way, man. You know, we want to get everybody, but you know, sometimes everybody can't go. We got a lot of stuff going on at A&M too, man. We trying to buy this campus. Then Miles came in and said we don't know how to buy the campus.
Come on with it.
You know what I'm saying? We got a lot of stuff. Miles trying to, you know what I'm saying? What they gonna do with Miles campus? Are we gonna buy that campus? Because we still could have another school. You know what I'm saying? We'll just go buy we'll buy up everybody's campus. You know what I'm saying? So we got a lot going on at A&M, man.
I will say this to the bowling team. I need some merch. I'm gonna be on their website because I feel like y'all have the freshest uniforms to me. Like I love that. So I might have to pop out at Classic with a bowling shirt. So
I like those soccer jerseys, man. Those soccer jerseys are legit.
Yeah, I'm gonna be the one with the different sport during football season.
Right.
Amen.
Fresh.
Amen. And speak of different things, man. Apparel. You know, this lid right here is they got plenty of these left on Nike.com, man. Go grab you one of these, man. You know, proceeds go to the department. I see a question here. When is the women's b-ball having their basketball camp for kids? I'm so glad you asked. I'm gonna pull up the slide one more time.
I was about to say, pull that right on up.
Said roll that beautiful footage. Not that one. That's the other one. This one. So those are the football camps.
Football camp June 7th at 5, June 8th at 10. That's a Friday and a Saturday. Volleyball camp. You got the recruit camp, the little bulldog camp, the all skills camp, and the advanced camp. So they got a little something for everybody. That QR code is on the Instagram page online. So make sure you go to that, check out the prices and all that stuff.
They need an auntie camp. They need an auntie camp for us, so we can go up there and show them we still got it. Bring on the auntie camps.
There you go.
And this one here, this is the Dawn Thornton Elite Camp.
Yep.
Saturday, June the 29th. All right. Here's all the information there, and also there's a QR code that is right in the center of the screen. So definitely, take notice of this. And if you have some players, have some girls that you know that want to be involved, definitely come on, showcase your skills.
And I know that's hard to read. That camp is $90, and that includes lunch and a t-shirt.
All right, so that is the camp that we do have. If there is a camp for smaller kids or ages that are under high school age, I don't know. Is one of those out there? Do you guys know of that, or is that all?
Well, if there's not one, I can set up some cones in the front yard, and I can, might make something happen.
Hey, we also got the show band of the South camp, a high school summer band camp. It's June 9th through June 15th as well.
Yes.
I think I saw something that I think they're completely booked.
There it is right here.
It online, but That's a good thing, man. They got overnight campers price, commuting price, chaperone price. So shout out to the MMW, man.
Mm-hmm.
I still watch that Macy's Thanksgiving Day parade video too, man. That's just so awesome to me. Like we were on that. Like I still look at that.
Oh my goodness, I was looking at I was going through my footage yesterday, and I was because we're trying to, we y'all stay tuned. We have something coming from the hill, so we're working on that right now. But when it launches, we'll show it to the masses. Right. I was going through some footage yesterday, and I just was so in awe that, man, A&M represented not only Alabama, the band not only represented Alabama, A&M, they represent the state of Alabama and all HBCUs on a large platform.
Right.
That
led the parade.
Led the parade.
Yeah, that's still awesome, man.
That is. So shout out to the band. Shout out to not only, have they made history as the oldest HBCU marching band in 1890, they are still making history today. So shout out to the band.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. So one other thing I just want to make aware of you all tonight, just across the bottom of the screen, we've had it running the whole show, is the drive to 5,500 season tickets for the football team, football program, everything that's coming up. Numbers have been across the screen. It's also on the athletic website. Shout out to our brother Brian Howard, who's been doing big things with that website. All that information is there. It's also got information about tailgating, RV spots. Also, I saw some updates where they've actually been putting in more enhancements in the tailgate areas. So that's something that is coming soon before football season arrives. And also, with our illustrious athletic director, Dr. Paul A. Bryant, his staff with Abby Brigman and also Ruben Perez. And I talked about Brian Howard, just that whole staff, man. And shout out to Crystal. I saw she was watching. There's a lot of different things that they have cooking up, man. So
listen, y'all better lock in with A&M Athletics. Y'all better lock in.
Got some athletics update as well. The 2024 game day themes are coming soon. On August 3rd, there will be a breakfast blitz conversation with AD Dr. Paul Bryant. The tickets gonna sell for that on June 15th. And don't forget that this is also is on social media on June 21st from 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. at the AAMU Event Center. The EC is what I like to call it, what the kids call it, so I start calling the EC too. They're gonna have the all-white affair, Jazz on the Terrace, with Kelly O'Neal there. So go to the AAMU Athletics Instagram page. You can use the QR code to get a link to the tickets. Yep.
So be apprised of all those different things. Special shout out tonight. It's been a great show. We did a few things. We had a couple of comments. So y'all know, like T. Gooden said, coming up on the 25th, the promo is out there. We'll put it out, we'll see if the promo will continue to run. That'll be our next show. Also, we talked about the finals. So, Jinx and Maverick, all three of us picked them.
Right.
So hopefully we didn't. Hopefully we didn't jinx them.
Right. Hopefully we didn't.
But tonight, everybody, just make sure that you, if you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, if you have not subscribed to our Apple Podcasts or Spotify, make sure you do that. Also, follow us on our social media platforms on X, Facebook, and Instagram. So, Jay the Great, T. Gooden, man, enjoyed it. And enjoyed all of the different people as well. And I would be remiss if I didn't pull CJ's question up. And yes, I will go ahead and show that once more, which is right here. You ask and you shall receive. The toiletry drive, which is coming up on the 15th, which is not this Saturday, but next Saturday.
Great event.
Time is 10 to noon. You'll have a chance to meet and greet the Lady Bulldogs. It'll be at the EC, the event center. And also there's different things that will be given to local shelters with your donations. And if you're not able to donate these, you can also donate money. That will never be turned down.
Listen.
Hey, Wayne, we'll just add to that real quick. That stuff will be donated to local shelters. Professionally, I work in social services, and you like as rich as Huntsville and Madison County is, there's still people that don't have much. So when you donate stuff like that, people do appreciate it. So take that change that you have or the paper that you have, and go buy those supplies and get it to the toilet drive, because I promise you, those people that do receive that stuff, they really do appreciate it, and you'll be blessed in the long run.
Yes. That's right. That's
it
right.
Is a blessing to give.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
And be in a position where you can give.
That's right. And so that puts a pin and brings down the curtain on our episode tonight. So I'd like to thank everybody for joining. For Jay the Great, T Gooden, I'm your man, Wild Wayne Cartwright. We'll see you again real soon. Good night.